All right, everyone. Welcome to this month's very special Ceros Essentials webinar, Will It Markup? Today, we'll be showcasing why markup is an essential part of the Ceros suite, while also debuting the first ever live Ceros game show to aid with our learning experience. We're in for a lot of fun today, folks. My name is Travis, and I will be your host today. I am currently the digital content educator on the Ceros Educate team. But during my nearly 3-year career at Ceros thus far, I've also worked with our customer support team as a customer support specialist. And growing up, I was a big fan of watching game shows, things like Legends of the Hidden Temple and Slime Time Live on Nickelodeon. I also love game show trivia shows like Jeopardy as well. So I've been very, very much looking forward to this webinar for a while now, and I am so excited that you are all here for it. Today's session is going to follow a fairly simple agenda. We will begin by providing a brief overview of markup and why it is essential, and then we'll head right into our live game show entitled Will It Markup? I'll explain the game's rules when we get there, but the overall purpose of the game show and this webinar today is to provide you all with hopefully a fun and engaging way to better understand markup, its features, and how it can greatly help you and your team level up your collaboration game. With all that preamble out of the way, I think it's time that we get on with the show and meet markup. So for the uninitiated, markup is the Ceros Suite's powerful collaborative feedback tool with support for over 30 different file types, including videos, PDFs, and more. Markup allows your team to efficiently streamline the feedback loop while keeping all of the action contained within the same place. Your markups can be shared with anyone within or outside of your organization, enabling multiple users to collaborate without the need of endless email threads. As you work through the collaborative process in markup, you can rest easy knowing that your conversations will stay secure, as markup is SOC2 compliant and has SSO capabilities. Another huge benefit to using markup is that it can integrate with other platforms like Slack and Microsoft Teams so that you and your team can stay in the know and get notified whenever comments are made within your markups. Simply put, markup revolutionizes your team's collaborative workflow. Now, in outlining the tool on this page, I think we've already made a fairly concrete case for why markup is an essential part of the Ceros suite, but I think we can distill all of that down into two distinct buckets: feedback and workflow. On the feedback end, markup provides a space where your team, along with outside contributors, can collaborate on a wide number of projects while ensuring that feedback is well organized and can be actioned strategically. The feedback process is made even easier with the use of markup's annotation tools and the ability to add screenshots and even screen recordings to your comments. These tools will help eliminate confusion and accurately convey finer feedback details. Now, with the workflow aspect, as we mentioned earlier, markup can help optimize your team's collaborative workflow by eliminating long email chains. And by integrating with platforms like Slack and Teams, tracking feedback in markup is made even simpler. This means that you won't need to check the markup or your email constantly to see if comments have been made, making your workflow even more efficient. And I would personally encourage anyone tuning into this that maybe hasn't leveraged markup with their team to sign up for a free account over at markup.io and give it a try. You may find that it quickly becomes an essential part of your team's collaboration process. So if you go to markup.io, you can sign up for free and check it out. Awesome. But now it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for: the debut of Ceros' first ever live game show. Will it markup? Okay. So I do have to give credit where credit's due. This was not an original idea of my own. Our video content producer, Pat, who will be joining us as a contestant today, initially came up with the idea for Will It Markup as a video, just to kind of showcase the different file formats that markup could use within the platform. But we had the idea that, instead of making it a game show themed video, why not just turn it into a game show webinar? So that's what we have done here today. This will be a Jeopardy style questionnaire game. We've got 3 players. I'll introduce them in just a moment. And each player will have 4 turns. In each of your turns, you will be answering a question about markup, its features, the integrations, and more. And each question is worth 100 points if answered correctly. That being said, no points will be lost for our contestants if they answer incorrectly. We're all about learning here in a positive and non-judgmental environment. So no points will be lost for incorrect answers. And we will not allow steals either. So let's say Pat gets an answer wrong, Colin or Alex cannot steal the answer from them. We're just going to give the correct answer, right or wrong, right after the answer from our contestant has been heard. After 4 turns, the player with the most points wins. And in the event of a tie, the first player to answer our tiebreaker question correctly is the winner. Now, although you can't lose points for incorrectly answering a question, we have kind of spiced things up by including what we call markdowns into our game board, which we'll see in just a moment. So these will be completely random, and you can kind of think of them as Minesweeper bombs. So if you ever played Minesweeper back in the late 90s on a Windows computer, those Minesweeper games, you never knew where those bombs were. So we will have markdowns that will lose our contestants 100 points. So even if one of them is on a hot streak with answering, they could still end up the loser, unfortunately, in a twist of fate by getting the markdowns. So we're just kind of trying to spice things up and make things interesting for our contestants. Speaking of which, let's introduce them. We've got Pat, Alex, and Colin joining us today. Thank you guys so much for being here. Pat, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Pat. I'm on the Educate team as the video content producer. I did not come prepared to tell about myself more. Um, I like to cook. I'm currently proofing some English muffins in the kitchen. So as soon as this webinar is over, I'm gonna griddle those up.
Love that. Well, thank you, Pat, and thank you for the idea for this webinar. I think
Oh,
we have some fun today. Alex, welcome to our panelists. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I'm Alex. I'm also on the Educate team. I'm the multimedia designer. I also did not come prepared to introduce myself. I have a big thing of Pez that I'm a Pez aficionado. That's about it. That's my interesting fact.
That's perfect. Thank you, Alex. And finally, we have Colin, who is a newcomer to the Educate community. He's actually currently in Dallin's non-designer's intro to design class. So Colin, thank you so much for being here. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name's Colin. I am not on the education team. I am a front-end developer at Anderson Windows. I do web content management, work with a whole marketing team. So I think MarkUp could be a very useful tool for us with all sorts of design projects, from homepage redesigns to blog page updates, you name it. So looking forward to learning about this useful tool. And I've already kind of shared out some exploring I've done with my boss, and she seemed really excited about it. So excited to bring what I learned to my team.
We love that. Thank you, Colin.
Also a huge golf fan, Masters Week. So that's me.
This guy came to play today, guys. Watch out for Colin. All right, everybody. Well, Colin, since you are our Token Educate community member, I will allow you to pick your turn order first before we let Alex and Pat pick theirs. So over here on the right, you can choose from A, B, or C, and whatever number corresponds with this box right here will be your player number and turn order. So Colin, which one of these will you be selecting?
I'll go C for Colin.
We go C? Oh, that means Colin will be player 1 and get the first drop on the questions. Awesome. Alex, since you are our most newest recruit to this game as of today, I'll let you go second. Are you choosing B or A for your turn order?
I'm gonna go A for Alex.
All right, that seems fitting. So Alex will be player 2 and go second, and Pat, that means you will be player 3 and go third. And remember, guys, this is going to be a Jeopardy style questionnaire. So let's take a look at our Will It MarkUp game board right here. So if you've watched Jeopardy before, this should look very familiar to you guys. And we have 4 different question categories that you guys can select from. So we've got file types, which will ask you if certain file types will mark up, hence the name Will It MarkUp. And additionally, we were going to have the video that Pat had suggested be just about file types, but I decided to expand the question categories to include topics like the markups tools and third-party integrations, and also management of markup itself. So those are our back 3 question categories as well. So let's kick ourselves off. And Colin, what are you going with for your first question selection? You can pick any one of these tiles. And remember, 4 of these will be markdowns and they are completely random. So what are you going with for your first selection, Colin?
I'd like tools for 1, Travis.
Tools for 1. All right. Let's see what Colin's got. All right. True or false? When leaving a comment, you can emphasize an area by drawing around it or highlighting it.
I'll say true.
That is
what
true.
is true, Travis? Sorry.
I like it. That is true. So yes, MarkUp's many annotation tools. You can draw around a specific area, highlight it. You can even use shape tools within MarkUp so that your feedback can be very concise and direct on the area that you are commenting on. So yes, great job, Colin. 100 points to you to start us off. I'm really happy you didn't grab a markdown to start us off because that would have been kind of a downer to start on. But Colin gets 100 points to start us off. All right, Alex, you are up next. What will be your first question selection?
I'm going to go file types 1.
File types 1. Let's see what Alex gets. You can turn an Adobe Illustrator design file into an experience, but will it markup?
Oh, I should know this. I'm gonna say yes.
That is correct. Yes. Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop files can both be turned into markups and Ceros experiences, which is great because that means if your team are proficient in one of those design platforms, maybe a little bit more comfortable than designing from scratch in Ceros, that means you can take an Illustrator file, comment on it in a markup, make sure it's looking really good, and then you can even import that into Ceros and turn that into an experience, which is great. So awesome.
All right,
great
can I
job,
ask questions during the game here?
Yeah,
Is
we
that...
can. I can answer questions for you. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So say I somebody on my team or myself import a Illustrator file. Is there a way to then export that out and save it back to a Illustrator file, or is it stuck in Ceros land?
That is
like putting it into PowerPoint or something. I don't know.
At this time, no, we do not allow the exporting of Ceros experiences as PSD or AI files. We do have an offline viewer that you can export a Ceros experience as a CDE file that'll work with the offline viewer. You can also export experiences as like a bundle of files to host on an external platform. But at this time, you cannot turn a Ceros experience into an AI or PSD file. But that's a great idea. We should definitely pitch that to our product team. I love it, Colin. Cool. Awesome, Alex. So that will get you 100 points and put you on the board. Pat, our player 3. What are you going to go with for your first question selection?
I'm going to go tools for 2.
Tools for 2. Oh, you hate to see it. Pat is going to be the victim of our first markdown. He gets no points and loses 100 points. Pat, I am so sorry. That is the way the cookie crumbles, but you will be getting a markdown, which will put you in the red. I am so sorry. No. But you can still come back. Hope is not lost, Pat. I'm still rooting for you. All right, Colin, back to you. What will be your second question selection?
I would like to round out tools for 3, Travis.
Tools for 3. All right. True or false? When commenting on live text in MarkUp, you can utilize Gemma, which is our AI assistant, for copy suggestions.
What is true, Travis?
That is true. Yes. Our product team is hard at work on integrating Gemma into all of our products, and MarkUp is the first of those to get a true Gemma widget, or functionality, I should say. So when you're commenting on live text in a MarkUp, there will be a little box inside of the comment box that says Ask AI, and then you can ask Gemma for tweaks or revisions on any of the live text copy in your experiences or live text in your live sites as well. So yes, you can absolutely utilize our brand spanking new creative assistant Gemma for copy suggestions in a MarkUp. Great job, Colin. Another 100 points to you. Alex, it is back to you for your second question selection. What are you going with?
I'm gonna go with third party 1.
Third party 1. Oh, Alex hits our second markdown. I am so sorry, Alex. That will lose you 100 points and put you back to 0. Oh, you hate to see it. I'm so sorry. Well, back to you, Pat. Can you redeem yourself from that last markdown? I think you can. What are
I
you
think
going
so
with?
too. I'm gonna go for third party 2. We
Third
can't
party
be
2.
back to back. At least I'm hoping.
You are correct. So name one of the workspace platforms that MarkUp integrates with. You can name any one of them.
Slack.
Slack is one of them. Congratulations, Pat. That is correct. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, Slack and Microsoft Teams can integrate with MarkUp so that you can get comments or notifications, I should say, whenever a comment is made in a markup. So yes, absolutely. Great job, Pat. You are back up to 0. Colin has got a very strong lead right now. Can he maintain it, folks? Colin, what will be your third question selection?
I'd like to try file types 3, Travis.
File types 3. Oh, Colin hits our third out of 4 markups, kind of evening the playing field just a little bit, but it's all right, Colin. You still have a slight lead over our other contestants. So back to you, Alex, with 1 markdown left on the board. What will be your third question selection?
I'm going to go with the last third party.
The last third party. Name the video communication platform that is integrated into MarkUp.
Loom.
That is Loom, yes. Yes, you can absolutely use Loom within MarkUp to leave screen recordings within your comments. That way you can, sometimes it's easier to verbalize your feedback rather than it is to type it out. So yes, Loom is integrated into MarkUp. Great job, Alex. That will put you on even playing ground with Colin. They are neck and neck, folks, with 100 points each. Pat, what is your response to that? Can you match them in points here with your third question selection?
Really hoping I can, but I'm also not feeling very lucky right now. But I'm going file types 2.
File types 2. Apple ProRes is a video format that offers visually lossless video compression. But will it markup?
It will markup.
It will indeed markup. Great. MarkUp supports several different video file types, including MOV, MP4, AVI, MPG, and of course, Apple ProRes. And we actually just released a feature in MarkUp not too long ago where you can leave a comment on a range of time within a video rather than just a specific timestamp, which you can still do, but sometimes you need to leave a comment on a specific range of time within a video. So that is available also. So great job, Pat. We have evened up the board, guys. So anything could happen in this last round. I think there is still 1 more markdown left. So back to you, Colin. You have a 1 in 3 chance here of getting a markdown. Which of these manage tiles will you be taking?
Let's go with manage 2, Travis.
Manage 2. No
way. Rig.
Oh, Colin hits our 4th and final markdown. I am so sorry, Colin. Oh, it bums me out to do that to you. Oh, but that will bring us back to Alex. Alex, what will be your final selection from our manage category?
Let's go with manage 1.
Manage 1. Can you share markups with individuals outside of your organization?
You can.
You absolutely can. Yes. So when you want to share a markup with anyone, both inside and outside of your organization, there will be a little share button in the upper right side of MarkUp where you can click on that, enable sharing. You can then invite users via email if you'd like, or copy the shareable link to share that out with other folks, either within or outside of your team. So yes, absolutely, MarkUp is for everybody. All right, that will bring Alex up to 200 points. Pat, can you match that with manage 3? Let's see what you got here. While actioning feedback from comments in MarkUp, are you able to pause new comments?
I believe that is a new feature, so I'm going to say yes.
That is a new feature, and you can indeed pause new comments. ensures that your team can action the current string of feedback before opening up the floor to new comments and feedback within a markup. So yes, absolutely. But that means we have a tie here between Pat and Alex. So that will come down to our tiebreaker question to see who is our Will It Markup winner. So guys, remember, the first one to answer this question correctly wins. Just shout it out when you know it. But our tiebreaker will be roughly how many different file types can you upload into MarkUp?
32.
We'll take 30. We'll take 30. Pat gets it. So it's
Good job, Pat. I did not know that.
So great job, Pat. That of course means that you are our Will It Markup champion. So Pat will get the coveted Will It Markup golden badge, but since we're all winners here today, Alex and Colin, you guys were great. We will also give you the Will It Markup badge as a reward for your participation today. Thank you guys so much for being here. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I certainly did. But I can now add game show host to my resume, which is pretty cool. I didn't anticipate that when I joined Ceros a couple years ago. Before we wrap up, let's give one more big round of applause to our contestants. You all did such a great job. An extra big congrats to Pat, our winner of Will It Markup. As a reminder, Ceros Essentials webinars are held on a monthly basis, so we'll be back next month to shed light on another tool or feature in the Ceros suite that is essential for you to know about. So be on the lookout for our impending announcement on what we'll be covering in May's session. Until then, please check out our Educate site for all things markup and the rest of the Ceros suite. Have a fantastic day, everyone. We hope to see you soon.